ready to run.
True.
So
Amit sir is here. Raghuram sir is joining. Namaste sir. Raghuram sir. Namaste Amit sir.
Sorry, namaste. How are you?
namaste, sir.
Just tired. I'm just coming around from come running from the jury. So, hope I'm on time. Oh yeah, we have 2 more minutes to next. And Amit is followed.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
You've seen, you should have seen me leaving the jury, so he also is what.
So we are the parallel GP jury is going on.
Okay. Yeah.
Tomorrow, today and day after.
Yeah.
So
Please.
Okay. Good afternoon, all present here. For today's webinar, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Raghuram Jayaraman sir, Head Industry and Alumni Affairs, Head Office, our industry expert, Mr. Neeraj Nagpal, Mr. Ravi Sekar, Ms. Pooja Kuswaha, and our colleague, Professor Amit Anjani, Unit in Charge Industry Affairs, Professor Ranjani G, Unit in Charge Alumni Affairs. I also like to welcome class of 2020 and 2021 for the webinar. For brief introduction of our industry expert panelist, I am handing over to Professor Amit Anjani ji. Over to you, sir.
thank you, Ranjit. Thank you very much. So I have been given the opportunity to quick introduction to our eminent industry experts to the graduates of 2020, and we have the graduating students who is going to graduate in next, this month itself in 2021. So I start with Mr. Neeraj Nagpal. Mr. Nagpal has very extensive experience in different aspects of apparel, fashion, retail business across segments and value chains. He is an alumnus of NIFT Delhi, specifically, if I tell, and passed out in 1998. He has done his further studies in MDI, that is Management Development Institute, and also went to Harvard Business School. Currently, he is a Chief Buying and Merchandising Officer and Customer Care Associate at Shoppers Stop. Welcome, Mr. Nagpal. Next, we have Ms. Pooja Kuswaha. Ms. Pooja Kuswaha is a General Manager, Buying and Merchandising at Marks and Spencer. She was also associated with the landmark, big groups like Landmark, Madura Garments, and VP Corporation. And she is also alumnus of NIFT and basically this particular campus, that is Gandhinagar campus. And she also went for IIM Ahmedabad for higher studies, and are the third panelist or third experts basically is Mr. Ravi Sharma. He's a general manager product function at Madura Fashion and Lifestyle. He has been nominated for various awards and certifications, and he also holds to be alumnus of NIFT. Finally, we have one more expert. What to say about him? He need not require any introduction as such. Professor Dr. Raghuram Jayaraman, who heads the Industry and Alumni Affair Unit of NIFT from last 3.5 years. He is on almost 4 years he's going to complete. And hopefully because of this new normal, or now it become normal. So during this pandemic time, we have having the placements for batch of 2020 and 2021 together, which is going to start from 5th of July. So I'm handing over to Professor Raghuram to take this interactive session further. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks for such nice words. Especially, namaste to everybody, all our young minds, and the still young mind which is rolling and rocking the industry, Neeraj ji, Pooja ji, and Ravi Sekar ji. It's always good to have, who else can enlighten NIFT alumni, NIFT graduates other than the NIFT alumni. So you three are the apt and the right people. Thank you for taking out your time. I know business is moving, and there is a lot of pressure. When business moves, or when it moves, there is pressure. When it stalls, there is unwanted pressure. So there is definitely going to be this in business. So thank you for taking out time and being here to share your thoughts with our grads. So the placement 2021 is being scheduled from the 5th of July, and it will run for about 22 days till 27th of July. Now we have spread it across. Normally it used to go for about 10 to 12 days. Now we've added 10 more extra days because we want to give flexibility to the company as well as the graduates to take time. And we've added 5 more campuses. Initially we used to run this only in 7 campuses. Now we are doing it in 12 campuses, bringing in a set of new campuses also. Now the point is to reduce logistics of the companies as well as students. So we are trying to facilitate with our best resources and also with our best strategy for the participation of more number of recruiters, and also we are sure that more number of our graduates will embark on the professional journey. So the placement is going to be for only those candidates who have not even got a single opportunity in the class of 2020, which means those who are already employed or have secured some kind of employment and left it for your personal purpose. It is not for you. Let me be frank, and because situation is such, we have to be very, very ethical to provide opportunity only to those who have not been given an opportunity. So that is what we call as equitable opportunity, and we believe in that at NIFT, and for the entire class of 2021. So we welcome you to placement 2020. Please go to the CMS. The 2020 batch will go to the 2020 batch CMS link, and which your RIC will share, and the 2021 will go to the current batch CMS link and register yourself as job seekers for placements. Now, on one side, just before this, I was interacting with our expert panelists who also happen to be alumni of NIFT, because now, being an alumni of NIFT, they are filled with a lot of empathy because they have been you before they've become what they are. So rather than me speaking for more time, it would be very appropriate for all 3 of them to speak about, I request the panelists to speak about a couple of things which will be really, really valuable for the students. One is, everybody thinks that today, the seat where you're sitting is that, you climbed straight away there and you're enjoying your life. So that is our speculation, but they should know the reality of how we climb the ladder. So we have to take step by step. So I would request all 3 of you to share how difficult it was to take each and every step and how you made it easy to climb the ladder. The second thing is, you were also really new when you joined. You also did your GP and you were waiting for the placement gates to open and companies to come and pick you. So what preparations did you do in order for a company to choose you? Because everybody has an ambition of not getting selected by 1 but 5 companies. So we have to equip ourselves for that. So how did you equip? And the third thing is, I seriously empathize with these kids because lot of people say, "Arey, tum log bada unlucky ho, market aisa hai, waisa hai, naukri milna." But I do not want to hear. On the other hand, we are all living. We all get whatever we want to. We are getting new clothes. We are getting our COVID protective equipments, including us from masks to PPE, whatever it is. Now, if somebody is not going to source, somebody is not going to manufacture and retail it, we don't get anything. So business is moving on, probably not flourishing like the way it was, but still it is moving to survive. So which means that the negative chord is being struck very strongly. So none other than the Niftians like you who are in the industry can also strike a positive note, which will be very good for people's ears. So I request you to speak on this too, and also guide our grads. How their core domain knowledge and also their attitude, especially our value system and ethics is on. So I leave it to the panelists. I will come towards the end of the show to. I'll be here. I'll listen along with everybody. Towards the end of the show, I'll sum up, and then if I have questions, I will represent some questions on behalf of the students, and we will take students. My appeal to the students is, please come up with any question that is there in your mind. We are all here to take any sort of questions that you really want to shoot at us. Please do not think that whether it is going to embarrass someone or no. Please speak your mind. We will try our best. All 4 of us will try our best to answer your questions. And let me tell you, as usual, we have a future in our hands. Okay, we all survive to see that particular future. So with that positive note, I welcome all the 3 expert speakers from the industry and open the floor for you to flooded with positive thoughts for our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any of the speakers, you can just go as per an interaction, or you can with your interaction you might enlighten the students, or one-on-one you want to speak, you can speak. I mean, whichever way you feel like.
So I think Young must go first. So between Pooja and Ravi.
Oh, okay.
I think ladies first, so Pooja.
See, I was expecting that. So somebody says young, and the two young ones says ladies. So, oh, see, it's very ethical. Yes,
Also,
ladies first, please.
Also, I don't want to tell my age, so let me be the younger one. No, thanks. Thank you, Professor Raghuram. Thanks, everybody, for inviting me over here. It's indeed a pleasure to go back to NIFT, especially Gandhinagar, I think, which is where I graduated from. So to tell a bit about myself, so I graduated I'm from the first batch of BF Tech, so 2003, 2007 grad. Now, I think Professor was talking about the campus. So Professor, I've also seen the transition from the old campus to the new campus. So, from that small campus in I think the Gujarat GIDC area to
Yes.
when we got into Ghaziro, and which was a complete portion premium campus. So we have seen that transition. NIFT for me, as such, was quite obviously, like everybody else, it has been a milestone in my career where I am. I think probably, and to all the students out there, I've been called to kind of, talk a bit about my experiences, which probably could help you in, probably being successful in your life. And since the placements are coming in, I'll probably focus on the things which I feel has personally helped me a lot in achieving what probably, first to get through the placements, and then probably how to rise in the corporate ladder. I think one important thing, and this is something which I'm sure everybody has talked about, the professors, maybe in your life you would have read a lot about, is the entrepreneurship skills. When I'm talking about entrepreneurship skills, it could be either way. It could be you being an entrepreneur, but it could be you bringing that skills in your corporate, corporate job. And when I'm talking about it, it is pretty much important. So, how we are seeing almost everything around us is quite grim in terms of, the sales were not happening just now. Mr. Shekhar was also talking about how, we are facing a loss of almost 100 crores a year. But then we also know people who have made 100 crores a year out of this pandemic. And a lot of these, as Mr. I think Mr. Raghuram was saying that, there are people who are, making PPE kits, they are making, masks, they are making a lot of different, items. In fact, we personally in MNS, we have created multi-million, from the mask business. And for us, it wasn't even easy because we source from UK. So I think opportunities needs to be there. We probably just need to kind of recognize, where exactly it is there. I think one thing which I really want to emphasize, and I feel that probably when I was, at your position at that place when I was in a college, that could have helped me a lot. And that I probably started to notice when I went to IIM and I saw innovation and incubation center over there. So, when I came back to India in 2019 and I saw so many, fashion companies, like Zimame, Clovia, Myntra, so many of these, right? And now I was surprised to see that none of these companies are started by a fashion grad, which was, personally I was stunned to see that, while I think few of the NIFT alumni has been there doing very, very well in the corporate, I feel there's a slight more push required on the entrepreneur side and being entrepreneur. And we are, technically qualified. So whether it's, let's say, the product knowledge, whether it's, say, the, NIFT, the course which I am from is BF Tech, which also taught a lot about technology. So in fact, one of the reasons probably I was able to grow in my life is because, they did tell me about, how the coding happens. They did tell us about how the technology happens. So I think the kind of technical skills which are probably required to have a fashion startup, I think all of us have it. The second is, again, the management skill, which is, quintessential for entrepreneurship. Now, that is also something I think during the course of our education, we do learn. It is how we are kind of incorporating that into the kind of setup which we want to do. And the third most important thing, and I think which is what probably can only come if all of you guys discuss probably debate it out. And, if you go to industry mentors or to your, professors in the campus, which is basically, a bit more self-aware, need to see whether the risk which you are taking is a calculated risk or not, to incorporate your creativity over there, to incorporate your emotional skill over there. Now, this is something which needs to be developed over time. So I think with the skill sets which we have, I feel there's a huge need of us to not really only run in the corporate side, but then, to get into the entrepreneurship side. I would love to, see few of you doing something very, very good. I happened to stumble upon a brand called Bliss Club. Now, Bliss Club is founded 2 years back only by an ISB alum. I'm not sure if you guys are aware about it, but Google about it. It's known as BLISS Club. So that particular brand is selling just one product. So this woman, she identified in her regular day-to-day life that, that she doesn't have a perfect legging for herself. So she just started this particular brand, started with one product, one color. There are no colorways, just in few different sizes. And she has already got the funding of around $2.3 million. It's just because she had the idea, she had the confidence to incorporate that idea, and probably she got the mentorship. So I think very, very important for all the students out there probably to cherish that entrepreneurship is also very, very important. It would be good to see few of the NIFT grads to, to be the successful entrepreneurs in future. And those who want to be in a corporate, race like me, not that we don't need an entrepreneurship skills. So I think it is known as entrepreneurship, which is basically you bringing the new changes, dynamic processes, new ideas, new products, basically, which creates a great value and great revenue for the business. So it's also a skill which is quite important for your, when you are entering a corporate life. You always need to deliver that extra, always, because, it's a pyramid over there. 500 of you could probably get into that pyramid, but to grow on top of that, you really need to have that a bit of creativity, a bit of, giving extra. So I think that is one thing which I would suggest you, even when, let's say, the recruiter comes in, you probably need to show. In fact, when I was in NIFT, and, apologies, Amisha ma'am, I'm going to tell them, I was not even a great student. I think my CGPA was 6.4. Yet I got the highest placement in NIFT in that year. And that is only because, along with my education, while if you guys know about InfoCity, which is at the back, I used to go and work. So, and I was doing managerial work over there, teaching people over there, doing a lot of freelancing. And I feel a lot of these things, a bit of an entrepreneurship mindset, which I had from the college time, did actually help me in scoring a good, profile. I got placed with Vanity Fair in 2007. So I think very important over there. Second thing which I feel probably is quite important is continuous learning. As in, we all know things, that how the things are changing. The change is the only constant, right? And with the advancement of technology, the world is relentlessly changing. A year back, we were talking about, let's say in my company, we were talking about how we are going to bring the fashion back and everything. Like 5th of March, 2020, we were talking about, having a big occasion wear line. 25th of March, 2020, we were talking about scrapping all the fashion and just bringing a comfort wear line, because that's how you need to adopt. We got into a completely unknown area, right? While we are a fashion, company, but we got into complete comfort clothing. From, from the denims, we have moved on to joggers. So a continuous learning, continuous evolution is required across. And I think the only way to probably do is to accept that the knowledge which you currently have is not enough, and you need to be a lifelong learner. So whatever it is, so currently, let's say if the students who are probably in the 3rd year now, so I think you have a lot of opportunity in next 1 year to probably learn and acquire more and more skills, because again, that additional things are really, really going to help you. It's basically about, again, expanding your skill sets in terms of, let's say, if you, let's say when I moved to Landmark Group Dubai, I was a BF Tech student. I was a tech student, and I was asked to design. And I looked at my boss and I was like, what are you asking me to do? And believe me, I think because I think we had a bit of a technical knowledge of how Photoshop and Corel thank God that we had that knowledge that I was able to deliver what was expected out of me. So I think it's always good to keep expanding your skill sets, learn more and more. And last thing, which is very, very important currently, which is, and I'm not saying it for sake of saying it just because I've come for this. I think that this is again one thing which is really either helped me, or I'm pretty sure, Mr. Neeraj and Mr. Shekhar was sitting out there, is to stay positive, is to stay calm. You all know why probably, Captain Dhoni was one of the best captains out there, right? So what if the times are bad? Like, as I said before, times never stays constant. It's easy to be positive when everything is working out, but it is much, much, much harder when nothing is working out. The only thing which is again differentiate, let's say, a good leader from a bad leader is basically just staying positive and yet taking a decision in a much more prudent manner. At the end of the day, those failures, which probably all of us have faced, and when we'll have more time, and had we had more time, I would have given you a few more anecdotes about it. But then all of us have gone through the failures, all of us have gone through the bad days, all of us have sweated out over there. Yet at the end, believe me, it's worth the price. So stay positive. The times are tough. There's no denying about it. Not trying to put a rosy picture out there. The times are very, very tough. The only thing which is again differentiates between the two people is whether either we stay there and do nothing, or we can fight, back to the light, maybe even by an inch, but let's move towards the light. So I think, guys, stay positive. At no point, no recruiter would want a sad student coming in and joining them. They would want somebody who is positive, who is, a bit more entrepreneurial, who's willing to learn and deliver more. So I think just stay positive and all the best. Thank you, Mr. Professor.
Thank you. Thank you for those nice words. I think staying positive is very, very important. Right? That's why we are all here today.
Correct.
Positive. Yeah. Ravi Shekhar.
Yeah. So I think very nice points covered. I think very logical, practical for today, and not just for today. I think for always. I think I'll just give a brief on my journey so far at Madura and companies prior to this, and how we have adopted, evolved, and prepared to move as times improve post-COVID. And there is learning a lot at personal level. There's also learning at corporate level, and how corporates look at new students when they have to recruit. I think I'll give a hint on those. Of course, different brands, different people, different companies have different strategy, because times are changing. It's not constant, like Pooja was mentioning. But I think at the core of it, we're always looking at people who are brighter, who are positive, who are high on energy. And that does bring a sense to the recruiter that they will fire given an opportunity. Even if they don't have certain skill set, they will learn it pretty fast and deliver. I think I, as a recruiter, whenever I've come to, I think I've come to Gandhinagar once. And that was for, I think, GP internship. I think we had to take 2 students. That's what, because we often go to multiple institutes. I was 3 of us. It was one senior HR person and one from the brand Louis Philippe. I was then in Louis Philippe also. And I just could not stop taking anybody. I think we ended up taking 8 people. And I had to fight with the HR saying, I think I have not seen such positive energy. And my sister, who is a year younger to me, she's also a NIFT Gandhinagar alumni. She worked 2 years in the industry. I think she is a housewife now. But I think a lot about NIFT that I've heard is very, very positive. I experienced it 2 years back when I was there in the campus to recruit the students. Very, very bright students. I think a lot of kudos goes to the faculty members, and I think the amount of grind they go through, I think it is like polishing the stone for future preparedness, I think. And I think that's very, very positive. Back to my story, I have done BTech in textiles from Utkal University, Orissa, and post that I've done apparel marketing and merchandising management from Hyderabad. And I passed out from the year 2003. I love being close to product, and I ensured that my initial job is with some export house. Then one of the best company was Gokulas Images. And I was there for 20 odd months. I was handling the brand Nike. And there were a lot of international brands like LL Bean, it's a catalog brand, and many other brands that I was doing development work for. Good 20 odd months. Post that, I joined Madura Garments, but it was the export division. And I was handling the Marks and Spencer brand, which Pooja is currently managing. And I was directly working with our own office. We had an office in UK then. And I worked closely with the brand Marco Polo, which is a German account. Marks and Spencer, a good 28 months I worked there, 2.5 years. And I also handled brands like Debenhams, Next, some of these UK brands, European brands. That was a good experience. Post that, I went to Indonesia. I worked for a company called Asmara. It's a big company now, and they have a global network. Worked there for a year. My long-term goal was to work in a domestic brand, which is end-to-end company where designing happens, manufacturing happens, retailing happens. I think Madura was something that was in my mind. I was fortunate enough to get absorbed there. And very soon I came from Indonesia and got absorbed there. I was adopted into the brand Louis Philippe. It was the mother brand Louis Philippe, and I had the opportunity of launching brands like Louis Philippe Sport, the young Louis Philippe, LP jeans, Louis Philippe jeans. I think they have shaped up well. I think today, as I speak, there are 700 crore brands, sub-brands. So great journey. 10 years I worked in Louis Philippe. 3 years back, I joined Allen Solly as the product director. So I'm going to complete 3 years in Allen Solly. I continue to stay close to product. So it's a very specialized sort of job. I managed to grow all these years. I have not diversified, not added other dimensions of sales or marketing. But I think this is what I love, and there is growth there also. So I think the message and I have seen people around me, and Madura is a company that believes in having great brands, running great brands, and having great people. And we continue to have this philosophy. I think ever since I joined, I think 15, 16 years back, and the philosophy was same, continues to be the same today. I think all the strategies will fire when you have great people. And having great brands, I think it comes from the company, I think how they have evolved and all of that. But I think people part is very, very important. So I think when I would come, or people from Madura would come to Gandhinagar to recruit, I think the key qualities that I would look personally, I think would be a very high degree of passion. How passionate are people? I think knowledge, it is given. People who are studying from top institute like Gandhinagar, and which has got a strong repertoire over the years, I think it is expected and it's given that these people will fire, and they will be very strong in the core knowledge. And I personally experienced that people have very strong manufacturing, very strong there. I think whether it is Kaizen, whether it is manufacturing efficiency improvement, productivity improvement, cost reduction exercises, different kinds of Kaizens and all of that. I think they have always come up with great ideas and delivered. So that will be an expectation. But as things are changing, because in last 15 odd months, we have seen it was a level playing field last year. Across the globe, everyone had the same sort of a challenge. And the stores were shut for us, the manufacturing units were shut. And like Pooja mentioned, I think in a span of 2 months, we graduated to moving away from our core strength of shirt, trousers, suit, blazer knits, to making masks, coveralls, overalls, PPE kits, and multiple other accessories like gloves, whether it was in-house manufacturing or outside. In a span of 3 months, we had done a business of 90 crores. So monthly loss in the initial months was 125 crores a month. And as we cut down some of the costs, because that was also important, marketing cost we reduced, a lot of bad cost which could be avoided or postponed, like travel cost, multiple other small delayable costs, I think were removed. We also ensured that the good cost, which I would again come back to the point of people were trained profusely on a lot of these initiatives. Like the world was moving big time towards digital initiatives. Today we're talking about data analytics. Today we're talking about algorithms, AIs, and all of that. And it was an alien thing to people like us because we were very strong in what we were doing. We always heard of these things. We have seen companies like Amazon, Myntra, and a lot of other companies which are getting born every now and then and competing with us, but we don't know that we are actually competing with them. We typically look at brands that we compete with in the multi-brand sort of space, the department stores or such networks. But there is competition emerging from all corners. Luxury brands are there. Small brands are coming. People are coming with new end user purposes, addressing different consumer profiles. So there is competition happening from across, and the world has gone a lot more digital. So what we have done in last 1 year is we have accelerated some of our journey towards some of these important initiatives, which is digital initiatives. I think these initiatives would have been a 3-year project for us, but we have crashed and crashed it down to say 3 months initiative, 6 months initiative. And today we realize we are better placed. And when we look at the competition, we'll see ourselves way ahead than them. So closer to market, very, very important. How you forecast, because forecasting is a passe now. Because we always believed in pushing certain colors, certain silhouettes, certain fabric types, certain patterns. Everything has changed. We were very strong in formals. The world of casuals has come in. We were very strong in menswear, but the growths are coming from women's wear, kids wear, innerwear, loungewear, leisure wear, right? All of those segments where we had minimal presence, they are coming in. We have evolved a lot of these brands that we have, Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Allen Solly, Peter England. We typically have dominance in terms of presence in metro cities, metro-like cities. But just to give an example of Peter England, they had launched an initiative called Peter England Red, which is addressing the tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 sort of market. Towns with population of not more than 1,50,000 people, right? And today in this pandemic, where the big towns are not at all firing, it's near zero sales on a daily basis, weekly, monthly basis. The small town people are still flocking. I would just give an example. Last month, while all part of India was closed, we have few stores in Andhra, Anekapalle, Amlapuram, Kakinada, right? All these very small towns that we would not remember the names of. Our stores are open from 7 to 9 o'clock, and we are doing numbers, right? Very, very small time. And while we are strong in casuals in such markets, what is selling in wedding wear? April, May, June are months which are loaded with wedding dates. So while we felt small town is casual, small town is price sensitive, small town, and what surprised was they're very, very aware. Everyone has got phone, everyone is buying online. So people knew all these brands. So when we were there, they just embraced us. Sale was happening. They're clocking numbers which are very, very surprising. A lot of these small stores, 810,000 square feet stores are clocking numbers like 15 lakhs, 18 lakhs. And this is current times. Just imagine when things improve and right merchandise is there, right marketing and consumer engagements happen. I think there is a huge potential. And each of our brands are 200, 250, 300 stores. But Peter England is already 150 odd stores in small towns. It is a Peter England Red initiative. And in 3 years, we're looking at having not less than 1,000 stores there. Allen Solly has launched Allen Solly Prime. So speaking, yeah. So brands are strategizing.
Kalpana Kabra, please mute yourself.
Siddhi Patel करके उसकी मम्मी
Kalpana Kabra, please mute. Please, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So in terms of what we are looking at, definitely cash conservation, cost. I think cost continues to be a subject that every organization at every point in time, whether it's manufacturing, brand, corporate office, consumer front end, retail front end, I think cost needs to be identified always, and we need to always optimize it. So this continues to be our continuous running projects. Any number that we reach looks insufficient. So projects will always be around this. How we embrace technology, how we move digital and fast, how we understand the dynamics of consumers, how we understand them, how do we reach to them, how do we personalize messaging to servicing. The world of e-com is moving very, very fast. E-com used to contribute just 5-6%. Today, it is contributing 30%. Of course, when post-COVID, it will probably settle down somewhere around 15-18%. But things have moved very, very fast with respect to e-com. And a lot of these trends which have moved, I think probably will not come back to what it was 15-18 months back. Some of these things will stay moved, stay changed. So I think we have accelerated, and to that extent, people who are there in the company have had to learn a lot of these things which were not their core strength very, very fast. I personally was in training for last 6 days on data analytics, a lot of statistics, a lot of new models, a lot of tools. And I think I would not have done it if it was not thrusted upon to me. it is very important that it is taught to people, students now at an early stage, so that when they come to the organization, they find it a place where they understand and they can deliver. The world of sustainability, products are changing. I think we are also looking at how to consume less, consume better, circularity, post-consumer waste, green clothing. So there are a lot of things that are happening. I think it is important that students are keeping their eyes and ears open, understand what's happening around, in not just in India, in the global, and benchmarking is the best way to look at it. How are brands adopting to new changes? How are consumer moving? What are the mega trends, mini trends, closer to market trends and outside the trends not just in apparel, but trends outside, be it automobile or electronics. I think a lot of these trends are interlinked, intertwined. So it is important to understand all of that. And once you are abreast with all these changes, I think what it does is gives confidence to students. And later when they come to organization, different companies will have different strategies, different priorities. Even if it is not their forte, I think with this heightened confidence, I think they will be fast learners and they can deliver early. For me, starting point is for all the students at NIFT Gandhinagar, be very, very positive, with Pooja mentioned. And you should recognize that you are amongst the creamy layer amongst the NIFT. I don't know, I've lost count of how many NIFTs we have in India now. But I think there are a lot of new courses, a lot of courses which are for the future times, and new courses have also come in. But I do feel the NIFT Gandhinagar batch stands right on top. Do recognize your core strength. Don't leave that piece, because once you are out of your 2 years, 4 years, 3 years courses out of NIFT, you will never get a chance to go back. So it is very important to be very, very strong in your core strength. At the same time, learn the new things which is around through journals, through different magazines, through all these different YouTubes and different learning platforms that are there. Do know, over-engage with your alumni group, stay always in touch, and be very, very confident. I think as corporates, we always look at good and bright people, and while cost-cutting, recruitment fees will be there, but when things open up, there is always a brighter future ahead. When things open up, we will come and run to you to take the best of students from such institutes. So, yeah, be very, very positive. I think my best wishes to you all.
Yeah, thank you so much. Great, nice, very nice. Neeraj.
Yeah. Thank you, and I think very well put by Ravi and Pooja on really what's happening and how we need to conduct in a world which is dramatically changing. And thank you, Professor, for getting all of us to talk to students. And if I could make one request, if everybody is okay on the bandwidth, I would request that let everybody put up the camera so that we could actually look around the room and say that, yeah, these are the people that we have spoken to. It will be really nice to, probably there are 4 rooms full of people, and if your internet bandwidth is okay, I think it'll be good to just look at all of you, and that will be fantastic. So please do that. I think what's absolutely important is to stay positive. There is no substitute to that. And if I were to say what really matters, and they are in this order. First and foremost, we need to be healthy, and we need to be healthy physically and mentally. There is no bigger, then we need to be safe. So healthy, safe, and if one is employed as a means, that's a big positive. And if somebody has all 3 of them, I think big gratitude to the world that we are in, that we are healthy, we are safe, and we are possibly employed or going to get employed. And I must tell you, I mean, I go back, I did NAFT 96, 98, and NIFT Gandhinagar at that point in time was the second batch. And I had few friends, and we came for a tour to Ahmedabad, the lovely campus. But one thing that stayed with me among all batches, among all centers, NIFT Gandhinagar, in its resolve and in terms of determination, were probably the strongest. And I look back, and I have some colleagues who are from NIFT Gandhinagar, where I work at Shoppers Stop, few more in my previous organizations, Madura as well. And therefore, having the determination, having the resolve is absolutely key. And if I look at where the world is going, as professionals and as individuals, you see, we make money when a lot of people actually gain and get the value out of the work that we do. And so typically what we earn is a function of how many lives we are impacting. So you have to think, how can we impact large amount of people that we can impact, and how can we do that? Which is why, the reason why film stars and cricket stars earn so much is that they impact and create a large value with millions and millions of people. So you'll have to first think, how can we create a great impact, and what would we need to do to actually make that impact? And second is about being relevant. And I realize that as time goes, there are very less meanings on where we studied from, what we did, where we worked. Because as you go past, you'll realize that some of it which lose its meaning, and some of this would remain in the very back of your mind, where we studied and where we worked. I think what is foremost important is what you did today. Is it adding value? And is it taking you tomorrow? And what you're going to do tomorrow, is it taking you ahead? And I think when I look back, I find that you have a choice to make, which is, can you do every day something positive, something new, something that creates value? And while you do that, are you learning? Are you growing? And when you're doing that, is it taking you forward? And therefore, if you look around, the big piece is about being relevant. Being relevant is, with changing times, do I have the skill set that is required for the time? And what are those skill sets? And therefore, there are what we call as some of the North Stars. I believe when Ravi mentioned, Pooja mentioned how the entire ecosystem changed. So first and foremost, are we being customer centric? Do we really know where the customer is going? Because that's very key. All of us are at home. So there are some categories which have done well. Customer lifestyle is changed. Comfort fashion has come in. Formals is reduced. You would have heard all of us are cautious about wellness. All of us are conscious about health. So fitness is doing well. We are shopping differently. So we are shopping digitally. So you got to find what's really happening. So wellness is doing, health is doing. So there are sectors in the industry which are going faster. Active is growing faster. Athleisure is growing faster. Digital companies, e-com companies are still employing. People that they employ must know digital. People that they know, then they employ, must know how to do data, how to find insights from data. So look at things on how you can add what is already not taught in NIFT. I must tell you that everything that NIFT teaches you is relevant for being a fantastic professional for years to come. And I could tell you, I've spent now more than 22, 23 years, and some of my young colleagues have done that, many, many years. So what NIFT teaches you is fundamental strength around textile, apparel, fashion, consumer, design mindset, aesthetic, acknowledgement and appreciation of aesthetics, good design and writing, understanding of colors. So there is a lot that actually NIFT teaches you about what customer wants or what customer requires. And therefore being aware of what customer requires and what customer wants and what organizations require. The organization finally, whether it is digital processes, e-com, can only deliver when they have fantastic people. And fantastic people is a combination of, like Ravi and Pooja were mentioning, full of passion, deep commitment. So if you're average as me, you need to put in a lot of hard work. If you're smart, like probably the class that you are in, you've got to be really knowing where the consumer is going and be sharp and focused on what needs to be done. And just keep eyes and ears open to what's happening. And you will find that there are sectors in clothing which are growing. There are markets which are open more than India. So there are exports that are happening to US because US has opened up. UK has opened up. India is opening up. So as we speak, by end of this month, large part of Indian market system will be open. Tier 2, Tier 3 markets were already open, and metros and malls will already be open. you will find that there is a sea change in the environment, in the economic environment between next 3 to 6 months. And come Diwali, we Indians are very resilient. We are very, very resourceful. You know what West used to call as hustle? Indian jugaad system was always there. And 3 to 6 months time when we come to Diwali, market is going to get resound because all of us are at home wanting to shop. And in India, there is no greater joy and entertainment than shopping, right? And all our lives at NIFT are linked to categories which come from aspiration, which comes from wanting to feel better and shopping. Because all of us are in consumer categories and in some form or shape, if I look around the room, and I'm sure there are designers who design a great collection. There are people from manufacturing background who will actually decide how to source or manufacture. And there are product people or buying people who will decide what should the product be priced at and who should the product be targeted at. And I'm sure there are people in retail operations who decide how to sell, what kind of offers, promotions that need to be done. And it's finally about therefore consumer. And NIFT is a great place. It gives you a full understanding of the value chain. And as you go in your careers, choose what you like, and everything will take you to next step forward. And I'll share my journey. I was a civil engineer who never wanted to practice civil engineering because I was not good at it. Then I chose NIFT. Thankfully, NIFT was a great place. I found my purpose there. I did my internship and I realized this is the industry I want to be in. I did an internship in a small company out of Bangalore. I recall Lotus Clothing, run by two entrepreneur couples, both civil engineers for some reason. Small company, learned everything, how manufacturing is done. I recall time and motion study. I'm sure some of you would have done it in your manufacturing course. And after that, I did my first job in Ahmedabad, Ashima, and it was a great place to learn textiles. So at Gandhinagar, you're fortunate, you are in a textile sector, which does the largest piece of a product is actually raw material. And if you understand it, you understand fashion, you understand consumer, and I'm sure you would have learned tons of it. And that's where I learned my fabrics. Then I joined ITC. ITC was starting a lifestyle retailing business division, got a chance to do product development, quality assurance, setting up factories, manufacturing, sourcing. Moved to Ravi's current company with Madhura, was with Streeter England, managing sourcing for a scale which was at that point in time probably the largest brand, still perhaps is. And then moved to Ellen Solly, worked on sourcing, product buying, sales, supply chain, and then with Pantaloons, different segment, men, women, kids, ethnic, and did buying and merchandising with shoppers. It's more premium. The common connect between everything, that what I'm trying to tell you is nothing really matters where you start, as long as you take a step which takes you to a new learning each day, and everything is a connecting point. It's finally a journey towards reaching closer to consumer. You can start wherever you want to, whether it's design, manufacturing, sourcing. Be good at what you do, and I'm sure find where your interests lie, because I think each of these fields are specialist fields, and NIFT really prepares you well. And in times like that, when industry might be slow in picking up, reach out to fellow Niftians, alumni, Gandhinagar Niftians. Even some of you would have done post-graduation somewhere else. Find alumni, ask for internship, paid internship, see what you can do, because all of us, if you realize, are sitting at home, right? You can see our background, we are not at work. So today work is become possible from anywhere and everywhere. Ask for a project, ask for an assignment. Companies would be happy to give you an assignment on a stipend, or at times pro bono. I'm sure you would have learned Excel skills. Excel is important if you have to do with anything with business and numbers, clarity of thought, putting on a presentation on what are 5 points that really matter, will force you to think in a certain focused manner. And all these are, I would call it, life skill sets because what you gain is knowledge. What you go out there is actually working with people, finding your way to influence people, whether it's boss, whether it's your peers. Soft skill matters. Working with people matter. How you come across positive, and that's going to rub off. Like Ravi said, Uday said that if you are appearing positive, full of energy, full of passion, it's infective, and do that, because that's the only positivity. When there are 5 people who have to be made, and there's only one, the choice typically moves to, everybody's intelligent, everybody's come from the same level of institute or institutes. What somebody else is bringing more is probably being more positive, ability to work with people. So soft skills equally important, and that you learn each day, and it's a lifelong learning of working with people and being open. Take care of yourself. I think it's also a time which is just told, being mindful of our own physical health, and all of you are young, so I'm sure fitness must be big. Do make it big. Equally, mental fitness. I may be saying some of it, may not be practicing, enough. But I must tell you, if you can make an attempt to be fit, be positive, adding new skill sets. There are enough digital online courses that if you get time. Make a good profile on LinkedIn, make a strong CV, put clear points on what you want to do, and then reach out to more people and find a way of doing a project, internship. Look at digital companies, look at sectors which are growing better. And therefore, if you find there are companies who have done similar numbers, innerwear, lingerie, activewear segments, sport brands, footwear brands, e-com companies. Large companies have become larger as fact of consolidation. Tier 2 markets are exciting. So there are enough companies who are more tier 2, more value fashion oriented. So there are sectors where, and as individual, we need one job, right? We have one individual, we need one job. And therefore, when you look around like that, I think there are only opportunities. And NIFT alumni is a large base, and all of us are mindful of, let's say, our responsibility, and I'm sure your professors and coordinators equally are, because a lot of time they reach out to alumni. But don't just leave it to them, because their hands must be full, and find more areas to reach out to people, make your own profile, portfolio, LinkedIn, make a website, hustle, find new skill sets, because in the life that we are in ahead, some of these skill sets are obsolete because knowledge is free. You need application. It's completely turned to application. It's completely turned digital. 18 months back, we never did a Microsoft Teams call or a Zoom call that we are doing, and look at what's happening. It's cliche to say, everything is going digital. And product people, in fact, are moving samples around, touching feel at home, and looking samples on the screen, and leaving it to people who are probably closer. So, long and short, take care of yourself, whether it's your own well-being or your skill sets, learning. Positive is being key. This is only here and now. It's probably 3 to 6 months at the most. We are already half past 2021. And I can tell you, 22 is just 6 months away. And come festive period, which is the largest period for buying, things will really move around, because we Indians, we like to shop, festive, weddings, and the economy will bounce back. If you look at stock market is at the highest, which means that there is liquidity in the system, and you allow your customer sentiment to move better. And the last few weeks it has, and I can tell you from the first-hand experience, and with large part of our store network would be live in the next 2 weeks. So it's a matter of possibly 6 months on the outer limit that economy would be booming, and everybody that you've tried to reach out would probably reach back. But till such time, just add value to yourself and add value each day. So on that long monologue, If there are any questions, happy to answer, but I'm mindful that time is up. So, Professor.
Thanks a lot. I think we need to hear all this. We need to pay attention to all this, because it's high time we pay attention to all this. As such, we were expected to be this. If we don't be that, I think then we are enforced to be that. So let's be that rather than getting enforced to be that. I have very beautiful insights in 3 different directions from all 3 of you. I just have a small appeal to everybody. The being at NIFT and being part of NIFT eventually makes you, as NIFT. That is what my couple of decades journey has helped me realize. It's a beautiful place, as all 3 of our senior alumni and also part of the NIFT family has reflected. If you see, when it comes to, there are 2 things that I'm going to speak and talk about, and then take questions from all of you. It's very, very important to have, to live by our value system, because we are very renowned as Indians when you go around. Whenever I've gone with, for meeting people within the country and outside, everybody looks for that kind of an Indianness, the value that we carry around. Well, ethics is very, very important, because the idea of co-living is absolutely relevant in our country, and we've been used to this for generations and generations. Suddenly, you should not try to become the frogs in the well, by just pulling somebody else's leg and trying to climb, and we never do that. And the beauty of NIFT is, unlike the other institutions, we don't compete with others. We compete amongst ourselves. So, of being a fashion company or any other company which is related to fashion business, be it any company which is around, which is satisfying the core fashion business, it looks forward for a Niftian to come. So, if at all I'm going to hide one of the opportunities that I get, to get another opportunity, so I have a reserved opportunity which I'm not unraveling, and then I'm trying for a better opportunity. It is that we are eating up the opportunity of one member from our own family, and we know as Niftians we are very cohesive. Our perseverance, our resilience is always appreciated by the industry and the rest of the world. So being ethical is very, very important here. The second thing is, I've been telling this to all the grads whom I'm meeting, and I'm a strong believer of this. I practice this. If at all you expect something from somebody else and you want them to satisfy your expectations, please be ready to recognize that the person who's satisfying your expectations has some expectation from you. And he will satisfy your expectations only when you are mutually satisfying his expectations. So this is the relationship between the workplace and the individual as an individual or an employee of that particular workplace. So it's very, very important that we display or showcase the value system, the values that we can bring in to the organization, for the organization to fairly evaluate us and satisfy our expectations. So please practice this. We always take pleasure. We always should take pleasure of providing equitable opportunity to everybody. So PPO is going to be the key, because I've been pushing this concept with companies for the past 4 years since I took over the head industry, and the PPO has increased manifold, the pre-placement offer. So please accept your pre-placement offers and ethically inform your RIC or the CC about the pre-placement offer. I'll tell you, at this particular point in time, you might feel that, oh, he's earning, so he must say like this. I'll tell you, money at this particular point of life does make a lot of difference. But it is not only money that will make the difference. The amount of knowledge, the quest for knowledge that you have, and the experience that you build in the first 2 years, especially staying with a particular employer who has reposed some faith in you, who's picked you, who selected you after his due diligence, and has faith in your abilities. I don't think we should just like that quash our integrity by leaving them in a short span in time or running away from the job without even informing. All right, to look at it. And let me tell you, kids, initially it did not matter. Coaching would have been one of the ultimate aim of everybody when the industry was too unorganized. But today, right, left, center, wherever you turn around, you have all, only Niftians sitting in the fashion business. And I'm sure, my question is to all 3 of you, anybody can say, what if somebody hides an opportunity that he has been already given and then still coming to you for a job, and you offer the job, at a later point in time, you come to know that this fellow is unethically hidden an opportunity, ditched the previous company and has joined you. How would you rate this guy in your company? And what would be the growth opportunities for such people who compromise their values for, or let's say, block somebody's opportunity to grow in life. To my rest of the colleagues who are sitting here, Ravi, Neeraj, and Pooja. Please be frank, because kids should understand what we do and how we should be, because this is a very big challenge that everybody, not only here, across the globe, we are facing. That people hide opportunities in the quest for in a life of leading comparison to get more money probably or better position than their peers, and then look for some other company. How do companies see that?
Yeah, it's important. I think what you said is right, because when somebody is looking at his own career, I think the selfish tendency tends to set in. These are all young people. I know, all 17, 18, 20 odd years, whatever. I don't know what the age now. It's difficult to expect heightened maturity at this age. I think it is logical to be a bit selfish, but yes, you need to look at the larger environment and your colleagues. You studied together. You need to also be empathetic to them. I just give my example. I think when my placement was happening in New Delhi, my first interview was, then Ashima was into domestic, and before the result of Ashima came, I was interviewed by Gokuldas Images, and Gokuldas results didn't come, and Ashima, I was recruited, and they told that I am recruited, and I jumped. I started informing my parents and colleagues that I am through with Ashima, and that time it was told as a good company. But by evening, I was told that I've also gotten through Gokuldas Images. So there were colleagues from NIFT Delhi who were in waiting list. And only if I had backed out from one of these offers, they could have gotten this opportunity. So immediately next day, I had to make a choice. I had two choices. And the third company also I had to sit. I did sit for it first thing. And between the two placements that I had got, I had to back out from one. And I was again a young person by then. I didn't have the maturity to assess two different companies and opportunities. Salary is something which is very tangible and comes right on top. But besides that, we had to make a choice, factoring other variables. And I did make a choice. I backed out from one. So it is important that when opportunities are limited, if people can show this value system upfront, I think companies do recognize if somebody has done it. And it comes because in our company, ABG is a large company, 140,000 employees. And value system is very, very large. And integrity, passion, commitment, all of this comes right up front. If somebody can demonstrate some of these things, that he has given up something for good, I think it definitely stands in good stead. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, all these young adults should realize that things that we do today, the repercussions. I mean, the wrongdoing of today, the repercussions may not be immediate. It might come. 10 years or 20 years later, like the recent cricketing news. I'm just giving you an example of how you have to be very ethical. Somebody
it's not
who
a sprint,
tweeted,
and it's not a sprint,
yeah,
it's a marathon.
correct.
You're going to be there for 35, 40 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You are supposed to be in the same ecosystem. You are supposed to be known. When you become well-renowned, your value system helps people recognize you and then appreciate you. They get inspired by you. I mean, the recent happenings in English cricket. Somebody tweeted in his teens, okay, today, after about, let's say 8 years, when somebody's on debut and has performed well, all right, taking 7 wickets in the match, has been reprimanded for, and that was a genuine mistake. That was a genuine mistake. It literally reflected bad on your value system. You did not take care of your value system in your team. So when you're a teen or when you're a middle-aged, or even when you age, you have something to say, and that would be that I lived by my value system, like how Ravi said. See, I had to give something. But now today, latching on from that point, we don't give students too much of burden to take a decision. So we have come up with policy. Let's say Ashima and Gokuldas, you shortlisted for both, but our policy says whosoever gives you the first confirmation, the student should join them. Right. So if Ashima has given you the first confirmation, the student has to join them. Now, unfortunately, the student says, no, I do not want to join Ashima. I want to go to only Gokuldas. We don't allow the students to go to Gokuldas, and there is a single channel. Either you join Ashima or you leave the placement, so that the next shortlisted, waitlisted candidate can move into Ashima, and you cannot move further with the placement. So one opportunity for student is what we are talking, and policies are very clear. The second thing is the pre-placement offer. Again, a company trusts, your abilities, and you are given a pre-placement offer because you worked with them during the internship or the GP, where they find some value. They know that you are precious for them, and that is why they give you a PPO. All right. Suddenly somebody says, "Nahi, if I go to the placement, I can get 5,000 rupees extra." But that 5,000, of course, yes, it matters a lot. But look at an opportunity that you've got because you've proven yourself, and the company would have given you that opportunity after working out on your career progression. Whereas vis-a-vis, when you're coming for the placements, of course, the company is going to pick. Your career progression will be worked out only after you go and prove yourself for about 6 months or a year. So try to understand this, and the meeting is for that. This meeting is for that. Please try to understand. You're all very young. I know there is a life of comparison. Normally, hota hai, even when I graduated, we were not worried about which company we got through or what is the salary that we get. Our friend comes with an order. We are more interested that when he will open the order and read out, saying that what is his position, how much is he earning, what it is. But he is being offered a position and a package because of his abilities, his value that he can bring to that particular organization, and the fit score that the company has provided to him. Probably you might not get that fit score, so you might not get that job. Don't force yourself into something because you want to become a bigger line than the lines that are drawn. So my appeal this to everybody is that if you've got a PPO, please accept, because it is a very tough stage we are navigating, at least for this year. So as Neeraj ji said, when all the brands and companies make money during Diwali, then they will go for an expanded recruitment drive where they'll start budgeting it for 2022. But 2021 is still a tough navigation for us. We have a lot of icebergs, but we are NIFT. We are not Titanic. We will definitely sail through. So the point is that, again, to give you a positive note, we deferred placements in 2020 in April, but we started it online on August first week of 2020. And we continue to facilitate the grads of class 2020 till 31st May, till the time we announced the placement 2021 on June 1st. Okay, that was our commitment. And tell you, it was even harder. The first wave was really harsh on us. Not only on us, the entire global scenario was bad. The global supply chain got hit. All the 3-4 big supply chains across the globe was not doing well. A lot of big brands have shut down because of, they've declared bankrupt. There are big brands and companies who declared themselves bankrupt, but still we managed to bring in 1,000 vacancies, 1,000 plus, I should say, online. So the point is, there are willingness, there are companies which are waiting to hire only Nifties. So we should be very loyal to them. We should be loyal to those who are recognize us and give us an opportunity. So the initial 2 years, you have to invest in planning how to grow and how to navigate your future course of action. You cannot just climb the Mount Everest in a couple of steps. All these experts, including Ravi, Neeraj, and Pooja, they have all grown stage by stage. They have not jumped companies to grow, because even today the background checks and everything have become very smart. So with the influence of social media and the professional linking sites like LinkedIn, people know what you do and where you are, what you did. That's why I gave you the example of this teenage tweet of a cricketer and its repercussions 10 years later, a decade later. So let's realize, let's live by our values, and wishing you all the very best. So we will take questions now. The first question was for who's Lollipop? Can we please get your name? It's so sweet that the name is Lollipop, but let's know who you are.
Asik said.
Sorry?
Asik Saji.
Asik Saji. Okay. Be as sweet as you are, Ashi. So it says, would it be a good idea to start up? Yeah, I wanted to speak about the NIFT incubation system, which Pooja was speaking. See, being an entrepreneur is a bliss. Okay, at the same time, it requires a lot of guts and willingness to take risks. And during my journey in the past 4 years, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, successful and more of failed ones. But the failed ones have a lot of positive energy. You know what they say? The more I failed, the more I got paid by the corporates, because the corporates take cognizance of my failures rather than success. So you're like an elephant. When you live, you make money. When you're dead, you make more money. So entrepreneurship is one beautiful journey. So NIFT has come up with the incubators, National Fashion Design Incubator, NFDI. We had a small announcement about that webinar, whose link has been shared with all of you. You can start applying to that. you can open a design studio as part of that if you get selected, and we will fund you. We will handhold you. Senior experts from NIFT will do the handholding. So we have got that incubation and innovation ecosystem in NIFT. I appeal to all your students. I welcome all you grads to make best use of this incubator. One in Delhi, 2 in Mumbai, and 1 in Chennai. So initially we started with this. Now the more entrepreneurs come in, the more incubators will get instituted in the country. So that's how it is. So I hope Lollipop's questions are answered. And yeah. Any other questions? I mean, rather than writing on the chat, you can feel free to switch on your video, or with your video, you unmute yourselves and ask.
Professor, sorry, I would just want to add to the particular question which has been asked.
Sure.
So in the last 1 year, when in fact I was talking about the the opportunities which are around, in the last 1 year, there's almost a funding of almost $10.6 billion, which has been raised in India. Now, obviously, that shows that, a lot of new companies have come in. It's not really about the right timing, if you'll ask me. It's, the timing is right when your product is right. So, a mask could be a right product for a pandemic, and let's say activewear could be right time, right product when you're emerging out of the pandemic. So I think more than the timing, it is about what idea you have. And as Professor Raghuram was saying, maybe incubation center experts would be able to help you identify that what is your right customer. It has to be customer centric. Both Mr. Shekhar and Mr. Nagpal has, emphasized on that. Till the time your product is right, there is no right timing. If the product is right, you can do it right now. So don't think about it. Maybe focus on what exactly, you want to go behind. What is your target customer? Do you want it to be, digital? Do you want to be omni? Do you just want to be store? Do you want to be more customized? So I think those should be the true questions over here. A right product is always going to sell.
Yeah, I think my point here also is very similar. I was reading this book on Ramcharan. And a lot of large companies which have innovation at the key pillar, I think they encourage failures. And a lot of these startup initiatives, I think they're not easy. While Professor Raghuram mentioned, it requires a lot of guts, a lot of patience, right partners, model, and a lot of, but very few we see succeeding. I think there has to be a very strong execution plan, and staying put there, having a lot of patience is very important. So a good 90-95%, I don't know what that number is, tend to fail. But then every failure tends to end up as a big learning. And these learnings are paid huge importance by some of these companies where they might get later on absorbed into, or they might get into a new startup, and after 3-4 failures, the success that comes is a lot more sweeter and big. So I think it starts with a good idea, staying put, having right partners, patience, and if it ends as failure, it's fine. Failing early in the career is fine. I think that's my view on this.
Yeah, I think not just a good idea, but great execution. Because a lot of us have a good idea, good intent, but would you slug it out and make it happen, and give it your best first time? And if you fail fast. Yeah, because failing fast and changing is really key, and because there might be times when somebody else would have done it and perhaps done it better. So can you do something else? I think the value that lies ahead is about being nimble, agile, and these two words, especially in a world which is changing, where we know some parts which are there which are uncertain, and as we go ahead. Because change is the only constant, and it's obviously fast. Being agile, being nimble, and ability to get up after failing would be really key. And as young as you are, and like Ravi said, the career that we choose is actually a marathon, and it's not a 100-meter sprint. It's not about which company you join, because as you are probably 21 to 25, that's the age bracket that you are in. You've got possibly 25, 30 years of working. And in the lifespan that we have, and obviously lifespan has grown. So with so many years to clock, few months here and there, few years here and there, in the larger scheme of 25, 30 years, don't matter much as long as, you are making the most out of the time that you are in. So, that's the only thing that I had to add to what Pooja and Ravi mentioned.
Fantastic. So do we have more questions from people?
Professor, you have a shy badge. We were quite bold. We used to bombard our faculties and guest lecturer with questions.
Yeah, probably. I think probably they've all, all their questions have got answered when we spoke. Might be this, or I would rather, is this the right time to start up furniture? Anything, Ashi, anything. Why do you don't, who's going to say that you should not design furnitures now because it's pandemic? Our requirements have not come down. Our expectations, has not come down. So I think start. That's it. Is there if you have a willingness to start, you have that idea, like how Pooja said, you have that conviction to go ahead. Please go ahead. We will certainly support you. I'm just not saying because we are sitting on a webinar. Sitting in a webinar and saying I will support, which means that I'm going on record that we will support. Yeah. So best wishes to you. I wish you emerge as a successful entrepreneur. Yeah.
Any further question, students, graduates?
Okay. So it's about 5:51. Anybody has a question, Ranjit, they can write to you and you can forward it to me if it is related to placements. I would be more than happy to answer their questions, because I will tell you, NIFT continues to facilitate placements only with an objective to provide graduates with equitable opportunity to embark their professional journey, and we stay committed with that. I would just close by saying one thing. There is a saying in the Bhagavad Gita. It says, man is made by his belief, or the human being. Let me not say a man. It says, as a human, we are just made by our beliefs. As we believe, so we are. So I would say that please strengthen your belief system. We are here to live a better life. We are here to create better environment for everybody. And successfully, we will navigate through whatever we encounter. That should be the kind of spirit we have. And my wholehearted thanks to Pooja, Ravi, and Neeraj for taking out your precious time addressing the graduates. Absolute pleasure. Reflecting on your experiences. Even I get to know what you guys did in the past 20 years. That was really great. So we'll keep in touch. And as I told you, when things from new normal to normal, if the moment it comes to back to that normal, I think we all will catch up in the beautiful campus at NIFT Gandhinagar to bring in some nostalgia. Thank you so much. All right. Ranjit, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. The Industry and Alumni Affair Unit would like to thank our Professor Dr. Raghuram Jayaraman sir for your inspiring word and placement regarding information. This would definitely help class of 2020 and 2021 in their placement. We would like to thank Mr. Neeraj Nagpal, Mr. Ravi Sekhar, and Ms. Pooja Kushwaha for taking out time from your busy schedule and giving your valuable feedback and insight on current scenario of fashion industry. Your valuable suggestion on various career options in current scenario would be definitely reciprocated by our student. And also thank you for your positive words and inspiring words. I would like to thank Dr. A.K. Khare sir, Director NIFT Gandhinagar, for all the support for this webinar. I would like to thank to Professor Amit Anjani and Professor Ranjini ji for all the support for the planning and organizing this webinar. Thanks to all the colleagues of Industry and Alumni Affair Unit of NIFT Gandhinagar for all back-end support for this webinar. Thank you, class of 2020 and 2021 for patiently listening us and for your active participation. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stay safe and stay healthy. God bless everybody.
All the best. Thank you.
Good luck to everybody.